U.S. Ambassador to Israel Dan Shapiro says plans for a military strike on Iran's nuclear facilities are fully available and ready. Shapiro said it would be preferable to resolve this diplomatically and through the use of pressure than to use military force. But that doesn't mean that option is not fully available, not just available, but it's ready. Shapiro's message has resonated far beyond the closed forum in which it was made Iran should not test Washington's resolve to act on its promise to strike if diplomacy and sanctions fail to pressure Tehran to abandon its disputed nuclear program. Shapiro told the Israel Bar Association the U.S. hopes it will not have to resort to military force. But that doesn't mean that option is not fully available. Not just available, but it's ready, he said. The necessary planning has been done to ensure that it's ready. Israel has hinted it could launch a preemptive attack on Iran's nuclear development program, which Iran insists is for peaceful purposes but Israel believes is aimed at producing nuclear weapons. However, many analysts believe the United States alone has the ability to inflict lasting damage on Iran's program, the Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported. Israeli Defense Minister Ehud Barak recently asserted that a radical Islamic Republic of Iran with nuclear weapons would be far more dangerous both for the region and, indeed, the world in an attack on Iran. Meanwhile, U.S. General James Mattis prepares for war with Iran and will be keeping an eye on the Persian military. According to one article, Mattis wanted to send a third aircraft carrier group to the Persian Gulf earlier this year, in what would have been a massive show of force at a time when Iranian military commanders were publicly threatening to sink American ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The four-star Marine Corps General and CENTCOM commander believed the display could have deterred Iran from further escalating tensions, according to U.S. military officials familiar with his thinking. General Mattis is a key player in administration debates and a vital implementer of the administration's policies, said Dennis McDonough, a deputy national security advisor and one of President Obama's most trusted advisors on foreign affairs. The general also serves as a critical liaison with America's Arab allies in the Gulf, such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, which share Israel's concern about Iran's nuclear program. Since 2007, the United States has approved an unprecedented level of arms sales to those countries. Mattis was commanding his area of responsibility in an outstanding manner and with great skill, said George Little, a spokesman for Defense Secretary Leon Panetta. Little added, the Secretary trusts his judgment implicitly on some of the most pressing security and military challenges of our time, including the war in Afghanistan. General Mattis is seasoned, studied, and the consummate warrior. He is also among the best of advisors, candid and honest, and always in keeping with and in full support of our national interests. He's one of America's finest military leaders. The House is expected to vote on House Resolution 568. Read the resolution. Section 6 rejects any United States policy that would rely on efforts to contain a nuclear weapons-capable Iran. Section 7 urges the President to reaffirm the unacceptability of an Iran with nuclear weapons capability and opposition to any policy that would rely on containment as an option in response to Iranian enrichment. U.S. policy is that Iran cannot acquire nuclear weapons. Instead, House Resolution 568 draws the red line for military action at Iran achieving a nuclear weapons capability, a nebulous and undefined term that could include a civilian nuclear program. Indeed, it is likely that a negotiated deal to prevent a nuclear-armed Iran, and to prevent or would provide for Iranian enrichment for peaceful purposes, under the framework of the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons Treaty, with strict safeguards and inspections,